Hello. I'm also live.
I do believe we are. Yeah, I do believe we are live. Although you don't appear to be appearing on my video, which is a bit weird.
That's a bit odd. I'm here.
What's happened? What's happened there?
I honestly couldn't tell you. Hello everybody here at Warhipster.
Oh.
YouTube.com/Warhipster. Hope you're well. Just going to adjust the camera slightly there. There we go. Get my keyboard out of the shot. That would be nice, wouldn't it? There we go. Lovely.
Oh god, this has just all gone wrong.
Good evening, Philip. Hope you're well. I hope everybody out there is having a good day. It's Sunday. It's Sunday show. We've done this consecutively now, 2 weeks in a row. That's really good organising from us.
Oh no, it's quality stuff. There you go, you've appeared. It's because I had the settings open, because I'm an idiot.
Hello there. Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy is here. Hello, buddy. Mike's Painted Minis is here. Hello. And Mr. Boob is here saying, good evening, you sexy beasts. Good evening to you, you sexy boob.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Boob.
Hope you are all well out there. Yeah, we actually, Mr. Dowleaser is here. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Dowley.
We are doing general hobby tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just going to do some general hobby, have a chat about Warhammer, all the Warhams, all the things. So yeah, any questions, let us know.
Mr. Dowleaser says, did y'all see what won the Warhammer World GT? Was that this weekend? No, I didn't see that. Hello,
Is that this week? Yeah, no, I
Painting.
didn't see that. Hey, Underdog.
Was it Tau or Custodes?
Yeah, was it Tower Custodes or Crusher Stampede? They won the London Open.
Yeah, no one cares about the London Open. I'm joking, obviously.
Yeah, excuse me. We had a number of our very good friends playing at that, and they all did very well actually.
I think what all of you need to do now is you need to go to Warhammer World events, because you've never been to one, have you?
No, I've not been to one. And I would like to someday. That would be good.
It was a guard list that won Warhammer World GT. There you go.
A guard list?
There you go.
Guard
Adam.
list?
You sit here and you tell me about all these ITC things where it's the same 5 people winning with the same 5 lists, and at Warhammer World, the Imperial Guard are winning the GT.
Okay. Hang on a minute. I assume it's on Best Coast pairings. I would.
No, it won't
use
be.
that, don't they?
It won't be Warhammer World.
Oh no, it won't be.
use
I can't. This is. Oh, I'm completely removed. I can't even see my. Oh wait, Hive Guard list. Okay. There you go, Mr. Warhipster. It's a Hive Guard list.
Damn
it's
it.
not a guard list. It's a Hive Guard list.
Damn it. I think it was
You
Harlequin,
have
says
been
Mr.
bamboozled.
Dowleaser.
Oh, Harlequin. Can we get an answer on this? People in chat, let us know, because I'm actually really interested in what's done well, especially if it kind of messes around with the meta. Be good to see who actually won.
Let's have a look. Let's look it up. Google will tell us. Warhammer World GT. Google is not telling us. It'll be on social media somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, can we find it? I'd be interested to know. And people in chat, let us know, please. You know, always good to. Please, I need data. I need information.
But I think you should come to Warhammer World events, because one,
I will come to a Warhammer World event.
they're at Warhammer World. 2,
Boob, I have no idea. Just chatting pure nonsense. Like, come on, mate.
that's what he does. He comes in here with this energy. It's good stuff. I like it.
And then just. Yeah, exactly.
It was Harlequin.
It was Harlequins, Mr. Dowleaser. I mean, that's still a bit of a turnout for the books, right? Because Harlequins they're very good. Don't get me wrong, they're very, very good. But they're not what most people would think of at the moment as the top competitive armies. Whereas I think the top 10 from the London the London Open, which I will pull up now, but I'm fairly sure I can reel off my head.
Tau,
does give
Tau,
you
Custodes,
more of
Custodes, Crushing Stampede.
Well, I think it was Crusher Stampede. Hang on, so I've just logged in. Let me find the damn thing, because Best Case Pairings has this like weird system for finding it. So 18th of Feb to not April, 21st. 21st of Feb. That's fine. Warhammer 40K.
Mr. Ben
Favourite
Thorne
game.
is here.
And...
Buongiorno to you, sir. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
So let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so according to this, the top cut, so I was told David Gaylord won it, but he didn't. So Manny won it with his Adeptus Custodes, followed by David Gaylord with his Hive Fleet Leviathan, Crusher Stampede. And then we had Drakari, Custodes, Salamanders, and I just want to say that Salamanders list, I actually beat that in a test game this week. So well done to Ollie Missick for finishing 7th, a good friend of ours and a friend of the London Wargaming Guild if you're in London. You've probably seen Ollie at your events. Tau Empire, Space Wolves. Tau Empire piloted by our very good friend Ed Sanderland, aka the Sandman 40k, so big shout out to him for getting in the top 10. And then Space Wolves, Custodes, Tau, Eldari, and Custodes. So in your top 15, there are a lot of Custodes.
Shock horror.
Shock horror. Good evening, Ed and Jen in Leuven and Mr. Ben Thorne. Buongiorno. I'm good. He says, how are y'all? I'm good. I'm okay. As I say, we thought we'd do our regular Sunday show. I think I've got it working on my channel without any audio issues, which is an absolute miracle for me, given my incompetence with technology, apparently. But yeah, we thought we'd stave off the Monday blues before returning to work by talking about the Warhams. Although I say that, Mr. Warhipster is of course doing his work right now as he produces these beautiful Dire Avengers, and they are looking spectacular.
I just dropped a Dire Avenger in my lap, so it's clearly going.
Yeah. So I have your. I was gonna say I have your video open as well. So I've just seen that disappear off screen. So.
Good evening, Christian Foulsmith. How are you, sir? Ben says I'm in euphoric right now. I'm currently painting the rim of my Tau Commander. Excellent stuff. I need to paint the rim of my Tau Commander tonight, so we'll be doing the same thing, Ben.
My Tau Commander needs only his or her weapons swapped out, because my Tau Commander is an 8th edition Tau Commander that has a load of magnetized 4 cyclic ion weapons on him or her, so I just need to swap those out. And yeah, so Ben, to answer your question, I'm surprised. Oh, go on.
Is yours a Cold Star?
I have both. So I have a Cold Star who's currently got 4 fusion. Again, all magnetized, so I can swap them out. And I guess it would have been either a Crisis or an Enforcer.
Because your
who has the cyclic ion blasters.
Your Cold Star cannot take cyclic ion blasters anymore.
Yes, yeah. Well, so they don't. They have the fusion because I did the old-fashioned, fly up the board and fusion something to death build. That was my build for that. But yeah, they are on a shelf. Oh, Mr. Darliza says it was Harlequins on my channel. It was Harlequins, and it's on BCP, so we can actually see it. So we'll go and have a look.
Oh, is it
and
on
Samuel
BCP
Fry says,
now?
On my channel. So let me just find it.
That's cool that it's on BCP now. Oh, of course, because they have partnered. I didn't know if it was.
Yeah. So I will just have a look and see if I can find it, and we can have a chat about that. But to answer your question, Mr. Ben, on my channel, and on Josh's channel, and I'll talk about both channels because I've got people in both chats. So apologies if it kind of flits between them. So good evening, Samuel Fry. I'm glad you're excited about NIDS. I certainly am. Look at this bad boy. It's coming to eat you up. But to answer your question, Ben, about the Custodes. As surprised they're in the top 15. Did I miss something in the comp setting? Not to be too rude, but at the moment, Custodes, you have to be living under a rock. No, not at all. I'm kidding. Custodes are really, really, really good. They have had changes in their codex, which means, in a nutshell, everything's got better. And at the same time as everything got better, everything also got cheaper. So Custodes got like a double whammy of buffs. They got new abilities in the form of their martial katars. Their unit weapons got better because they went to flat 2. Well, some Custodes players would argue they should have gone to flat 3. I don't think that's true. Oh, they went to flat 2 damage.
They'd be absolutely hideous now if they were flat 3.
Oh, they'd be hideous. Yeah. So they went to flat 2 damage across the board, rather than D3, which is very swingy. Their bikes, Lost Obsec, They lost their reroll all wounds when they go in on the charge, but they get +1 to wound, and the missiles on them now, the melter missiles, are really good. They used to be a bit rubbish. They're now, you know, D6 +2 melter missiles, basically. So they're very, very good overall. And their lead characters, people like Trajan Valoris, he's pretty much an auto-take. He's 160 points now. Which for a guy who gives out reroll hits of 1 and reroll wounds of 1, I mean, we're shaking our heads, Josh. We've both got him in our Custodes lists.
I'll have you know that my Custodes list contains Constantin Valdor, not Trajan Valoris.
Yeah, but who is he in 40k? He's Trajan Valoris.
All right.
And and the other thing is their relics and some of the abilities they have are really cool. So they have one of the classics you'll see, Ben, if you're playing against Custodes, is you'll see a character that people will call Mr. Worldwide, and he is a captain, shield captain in Alarus Terminator armor, and you give him a relic called the Praetorian Plate. That means once per game he can just in the charge phase, in the heroic intervention step of the charge phase, he can just yeet across the board and get in combat with you. And technically, rules as written, it's not a heroic intervention, so technically he can't be targeted. However, most people and most tournaments are playing it as a heroic intervention, so he can be targeted for attacks. You know, until that's FAQ'd by GW. But basically, in a nutshell, Custodes are really good. That's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, you'll see a lot of them. If you go to tournaments, Ben, you will see a lot of Custodes on the board. Because also they're a low model count army, right? They're relatively easy to paint if you just want to paint them gold. So yeah, you'll just see a lot of them. And yes, easy peasy lemon squeezy in Josh's chat says, don't forget about George the Dreadnought as well. And yes, I will not forget about George the Dreadnought.
Never
George,
forget about George
is a legend. As is easy peasy lemon squeezy, I must say, because I was in that chat when Mr. Lemony Squeezy gave you some funds for the fund god, which was pretty bloody cool. So yeah, it's awesome.
They've already been spent on the last few bits I needed for the Tau. The only thing I haven't got yet is a Crisis suit and a broadside, because they're not in stock anywhere. Well, Crisis suits, yeah. For all those at home interested, Crisis suits are now back in stock at Games Workshop, so they should be back in stock at your friendly local gaming stores within a week, 2 weeks. There's some logistics insider knowledge for you. But yeah, so they're the only things I haven't ordered yet. I will order them once they're back in stock at some of the independents that I like to use.
And then, yeah, Ben says he's got a cold start armed with a MP? What's an MP? Am I being stupid here?
Missile pod.
Missile pod.
Or it's a member of Parliament.
Fusion. Yeah, he's got he's got Theresa May strapped to one of his arms. A high output burst cannon, a fusion, and a shield generator. 150 points of tower goodness. I agree, that is 150 points of tower goodness. They are very good. And yeah, Ben says Custodes aren't in my local meta, so I wasn't aware they were so OP. And goddamn, Custodes are kind of busted right now. So they are. Well, okay, are they busted? Yes, they're probably too cheap, right? For what they do, they're probably too cheap. They will get points hikes. It will happen, right? It's the same as Tau stuff. There is some Tau stuff that rules as written is probably a bit much, and realistically, it will just get changed. So enjoy it while you can. You know, we all go in knowing what it is. Realistically, it will change. And you know what? The Eldar Codex is on pre-order next week. I guarantee you there is going to be some absolute filth in that book. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
That book, I am convinced that the Eldari book is going to be the worst one yet.
Yeah, I do wonder if the Eldari will be the worst one yet. And obviously, after the Eldari, we have my glorious monsters, my Tyranids, which I know Sam Fry is very excited about as well. So yeah, we're gonna get the Tyranids as well. And I've seen some rumors about what might be coming. That I shan't repeat here unless people desperately want me to. Nothing official and nothing that's sourced or anything like that. So just literally all that's in public, stuff that I've seen pop up on Discords and on Reddit and things like that. So it could be complete nonsense. But I've seen some interesting things about the Tyranid book, and I think it's going to give the army a lot more depth, which is good.
I want
at the moment, it hasn't got much. It's quite shallow.
I want it to restore a horde meta.
Yes, yeah. You know what? Honestly, I just want everything to be viable.
I'm sure it will
which
be.
I appreciate is a really mundane say. I want if you want to run big bugs, you can run big bugs. If you want to run horde meta, you can run horde meta. I want it to be like the Tau book, in that everything in the Tau book is viable. Everything in the Custodes book is viable, right? It works.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Christian Fowles
Ben asked, did they have
released the rumours? Release the rumours.
Okay, so what I'm about to say, I will release the rumours. I will try and remember exactly what they were. But this is from, as I say, I've seen this on people saying this on Discord. I've seen people saying it on Reddit. I've seen people saying it in Tyranid fora. So this is not official. This is not sourced. Don't rely on this in any way, shape, or form. However, I'll do this in 2 stages. So the things we do know. We do know that the Swarm Lord is getting much better. So, he's getting more attacks, and he's getting stronger. So he's getting up to 9 attacks. His Bone Sword's going to be like -4 damage. Again, there is a video on this on my channel if you are interested. Check it out. And we know this because this is from the data sheets that are coming in the boxes now. What we don't know are his rules. And the bit where this tips over to rumours is that the rumour is, and one I'm pretty inclined to believe, he is going to lose his Hive Commander ability, which is the move twice ability on the Swarm Lord. And he's also going to lose his current 3-up invulnerable save in melee. That's going to go. However, the rumour is that those 2 go, but what he does do is gives you a Chapter Master style reroll aura. So he's going to give you that basically and do what he probably should, which is be a sort of supreme commander of the Hive fleets. So you got 2 tidbits there. You got fact and you got rumour. As I say, to check out the fact bit, go check out a video on my channel about the Swarm Lord and also the Hive Tyrants. I'll move on to them next. The Hive Tyrants, what we know the Hive Tyrants are getting split. So currently the Hive Tyrants, and I will hold my sort of half-painted one up to the camera for everybody to have a look at. Angry boy. The Hive Tyrants come in, basically you add wings on for 30 points, but they're still fundamentally the same. They're going to split the data sheet. So we're going to have a winged Hive Tyrant and a walking Hive Tyrant, 2 completely different data sheets. The walking Hive Tyrant is going to go up to toughness 8. The winged Hive Tyrant goes up to toughness 7 from 6 currently. No, sorry, stays at toughness 7. But again, they all get more attacks. The other thing that's going to change is the loadout options. So currently on all the Tyrants, you can have like basically 2 sets of weapons. 1 set of like weapons and 1 set of guns, or 2 sets of guns, or 2 sets of melee weapons. That's changing, and it looks like the guns, the things like the twin Devourers and the twin Death Spitters that you can arm them with are going, because you don't get those in the box, right? They don't come with the kit. So in the tradition of GW sticking to things that come in the kit, what you're going to get is the ability to put on, monstrous rending claws, bone sword and lash whip, etc., and scything talons, and the venom cannon, the Stranglethorn cannon, but you won't get the opportunity to put on, a set of those and the, let's say, Twin Link Devourers. The other thing that's changing is for the Winged Hive Tyrant. So currently, the Winged Hive Tyrant can have wings and 2 sets of weapons. So this Hive Tyrant right here, that I will hold up to the camera. It's not brilliantly painted, so forgive me, it's still in progress. This guy. So currently, I run that as having 2 sets of monstrous scything talons. So those ones and his pointy feet. All right, that's how I justify it to myself. And obviously the wings as well. That's going. So you will only be able to give it 1 set of weapons. However, the feet themselves will have the talons, will have their own profile. So you will effectively, unless you give it a gun, you will still have 2 pairs of melee weapons, and they are pretty good. They are quite high damage. So that's the kind of the changes we know about. We've also had data sheets for the Exocrine and data sheets for the Haruspecs as well. I haven't done a video on the Haruspecs. I have done one on the Exocrine. Go and check it out. In a nutshell, it just turns into a better artillery bug. In terms of the other sort of more, I guess, wild rumours, I will just get them now because I did sort of list them earlier.
I will just say that both of our Richards are here, Mr. Gwatkin and Mr. Smith, and
yes,
that's good because it means Mr. Smith is still talking to you after you bullied him earlier today on the tabletop.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
It would have made ITT next weekend very awkward if if Rich turns up with, you know, a black eye because you beat him so badly.
And while Mr. Gwatkin Gaming is here as well, we should say to Mr. Gwatkin Gaming, who's in Josh's chat, that he has done very well. I believe you finished, was it 27th, Mr. Gwatkin, in the London Open with your Death Guard, which is absolutely brilliant and well done. And you should be super proud of that. So I think that's awesome. Again,
I have
well
a
done
question.
for doing that.
How often?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry,
I'm just waffling on.
How often is the London Open? Because it seems to be happening every month.
I think they're going to do spring, summer, autumn, winter. I think they're going to do 4 a year.
Right.
Because this one was labelled as spring.
Right.
So I would imagine we'll get one in a few months.
Because it seemed like it wasn't too long ago that everyone was at a London Open, and I was like, oh, they're doing those fairly regularly.
Yeah, I think there's like one per quarter. That's the idea.
That makes sense.
Rich can correct me on that because he'll know. Mr. Watkin will know more. So just to give this final rundown of the this is now, we're now in, like, grab your smokes, you know, sit around a fire, get your conspiracy voice on, because now we're into the world of conspiracy theory. So these are the unverified rumours for the Tyranid Codex. So again, caveat for what I'm about to say: none of this is official. None of this is, I haven't got this from anyone. This is all on Reddit and Discord and you know, the Tyranid forums on the internet. So it might be complete nonsense, but I'll read it out if people are interested. So, synaptic links, so the abilities to give things like +1 to hit from the warriors, or the Maleceptor gives like a extra AP and reroll your damage on Hive Guard, stuff like that. They're going to turn into once per game abilities that work on every unit within 6 inches of a Synapse creature. So the example that's been given is that Zoanthropes are going to give a 4-up Invan save to Synapse creatures and a 5-up Invan saves to... oh no, sorry, there's an update. It's going to be 5-up for non-monsters and a 4-up for monsters. Once per game within 6 inches of a unit of Zoanthropes. A lot of the buffs for the Codex are going to trigger off the Synapse keyword. So apparently warriors are supposed to be very good, for example. In terms of the unit changes, obviously, as I say, the rumour part is that Swarmlord loses Hive Commander and 3+, gains Chapter Master rerolls, and it could also give a unit OBSEC every turn. The Hive Tyrant is going to give out a Captain reroll, so reroll hit rolls of 1 aura, and a Turvigon is going to give +1 to hit for Termagants in range. We don't know what the range is, and if there are 15 or more Termagants, 15 model Termagant unit in within 1 inch of it, the Turvigon herself is untargetable. The Termagants, they're going to make Devourers, which are the sort of triangular guns that you always see them carrying at the moment. They're going to be rubbish because they're the meta, so they're going to downgrade those. Flesh Borers are going to go to Strength 5, AP 1, Damage 1, so that's quite good, 18-inch, Assault 1. Tyranid Warriors are going to go to Strength 5, Toughness 5 base, and have an access to a -1 damage strat in every single phase. And with a certain build can basically get to like 4 or 5 attacks at Strength 8. I think with Bone Swords are going to be the way forward. Gargoyles, the little flying bugs that you never see, are going to become a Troops choice, which is very cool. Gene Stealers are going to become an elite choice. So we can kind of assume from that means that we're probably going to see the same changes we saw in the GSC book, i.e. The 4+ Invan built into Gene Stealers, extra attack built in, extra AP built in, which is quite cool. Possibly limited to 10 models a unit like they are in the GSC Codex. Ripper Swarms are going to be a fast attack choice. Carnifex is going to have -1 damage built in, like a Dreadnought, which makes sense because they are a Dreadnought equivalent. And things like Adrenal Glands, so the little 5-point upgrade or 3-point upgrade, depending on what unit you put it on, are basically going to give you +1 movement and +1 strength, which is pretty cool. And in terms of the way the Hive Fleets are going to work, the rumour is the Hive Fleets get 2 traits built in as standard, and like a third that you pick from a generic list of Tyranids. And the examples that have been given in these rumours are Leviathan is going to give baby transhuman, i.e. 1s and 2s can't be wounded on 1s and 2s on non-synapse creatures. I know you can't be wounded on a 1 anyway, but can't be wounded on 2s basically. And regular transhuman, or transnid as we'll call it, i.e. can't be wounded on a 3 or below, on synapse creatures, which is quite cool. Gorgon is going to have an effect where some weapons get poisoned, like Drakari, so always winning on a 4+, I guess. And Kronos is supposedly going to give +1 to your AP when you are in half range, but that one is listed as not confirmed in the rumours that I've seen. So interestingly, that one is out there. So that is the rundown of what I've heard, basically. So if you're a NID player, exciting times. If you're not a NID player, I don't know, maybe you're frightened. You tell me.
I'm not frightened.
You're not frightened?
Nope.
You're gonna get turned into soup, mate.
I play as demons, mate. We're not going to get turned into anything.
No, you'll just get turned into... This is the thing, demons are rubbish for the Tyranids. Because even if we eat you, we don't get anything. You just...
Exactly. You just get bad stomachs.
Yeah.
I've got Brendan Green saying he listened to Codex and Coffee on a wet, windy motorway drive today. As a starter in 40k, also with Necrons, it was great stuff. That's awesome, Brendan. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We have part 2 of the Necrons Codex. Is not this Friday coming, it's the Friday after. So 2 weeks,
yeah.
Less than 2 weeks now. And as I think as we discussed in the podcast, in 2 weeks' time you'll be able to hear all about the crunch. So we've done the fluff, and it was time for the crunch, which is what we like to.
We can all be tourists at the crunch, mate. You know, we can all be tourists at the crunch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even go into too in detail to the competitive scene, but we just talk about how to sort of run them and a couple of little tips and tricks in terms of the way Necrons play. And we obviously were joined by the lovely Drakir Paints, otherwise known as Rich Burbage, who is a expert on all things Necrons, so he knows the way. And I believe we said this is the way several times during that podcast.
Yes, I was going to say, do if you haven't checked out Codex and Coffee, go and check it out. And also, if you do want to see a video with Rich talking about Necrons, I do actually have one on my channel as well. If you're a beginner, Mr. Green, which is him just basically giving his thoughts on how to play Necrons following the changes that are in the balanced data slate. So it's a little bit of an older video, but do check it out because it is still valid. And that will get more to the kind of the crunch side of things as well. So if you're after a few tips, check it out.
I love the idea that one day we'll both be like super famous for Warhammer stuff, and then hang on, and then our conversations will just be basically one-upping each other on plugs.
I can't one-up you on anything.
No,
I've got 860 subscribers. I've got like barely 1/10 of what you've got. Not even that.
Yeah, but I mean, is one day you won't. One day
the channel, she's very sick.
One day you'll have loads of subs and be, the ADR Wargaming. People will stop you in coffee shops and say, "Are you the ADR Wargaming?" Not
you that weird nerd.
Yeah. That's my treatment tomorrow morning at work, says Mr. Philip Eagles. Yes, no, you can enjoy coffee and Codex and Coffee. I always get it the wrong way around. Good evening, Dave Hall. Good evening. He says evening to you as well, Adam. And Rez says he loves it when I spread brown stuff. So he's staying on brand for whenever he's in the chat and anything that I do.
Lovely.
I'm so looking forward to seeing you all next weekend.
Yeah, we've got the party house. So we've got an Airbnb, and it's going to be me. It's going to be Warhipster. It's going to be Reza, who's in the chat. It's going to be Mr. Paternotte, aka Mr. Quipster, as well, and it's going to be the Sandman, Mr. Ed, Mr. Sandman 40k. So it's a concentration of Warhams in one house, to the point that I'm not sure that Northampton can take it.
Well, no, it's fine.
But we will find out.
Alice is coming, so she balances it out.
Yeah, she's like what's like the most nerdy way I can say this? She is like a null maiden, like a sister of silence. She literally dampens aka the Chaos House, because it's got King Gaming. Yes, yet none of it. Well, apart from Josh's demons, none of us are taking Chaos. But yes, she will dampen the output of the pure energy of Warhammer that will be coming out of that property for the weekend of next 25th to the 27th.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I meant to say to you earlier. I said I've had an idea. Do you know if there's a large table at the place we're going?
I don't know, but it's a fairly big house because it's got 5 bedrooms in it. So I would assume there might be.
One would assume there's a table. So what I was thinking was for the lovely folks at home watching us, is that we could. I might bring one of my. I might either bring my my fold-out cardboard battle boards or my mat, and then we can do a lovely photo shoot of all of our armies at the house. Because
that would be cool.
Inevitably,
very cool.
We will forget during the time that we're there.
Well, so testament to that is Reza and myself had a test game today, as you sort of alluded to earlier, and we forgot to take any pictures during the game.
Exactly my point.
Of kids and Grey Knights. So I do have a photo of us in my car when I dropped him off at the station to go home, which I will put on Instagram at some point. But that's about the best I could do.
Yeah. Just heard the last few seconds of your chat about the new NIDS Codex. Hope it's good. Looking forward to getting my guys on the table. They should be very good, Dave. I
think it's looking good. Yeah, I think it's looking good. I honestly, and these are only unverified, wild speculation rumors at the moment. But you know, drop me a DM on Instagram, and I can send you what I've seen. Although if you search hard enough for it on Tinternet, it is out there. So again, this is nothing. Everything that I'm saying is public knowledge, as it were. It's not anything that I've heard from anybody connected to anything. So unfortunately, I'm not Valrak. I don't have an Omegon or an Alfarius, which is where he always gets his from. So yeah.
Yeah. As long as the Tyranids Codex isn't better than the 8th edition Chaos Demons Codex, I'll be happy.
I won't be.
Oh, I really want a codex.
You know, it'll be
I don't often lament. You know, I just.
What, for your demons?
Yeah. Well, so I've bought a few codexes recently, and I've got them all here next to me. So, and I hadn't bought a codex for a while, a new one. So I bought the Chaos Demon stuff and read all of that, and it was great. But so I bought this one being Adeptus Custodes.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
With Mr. Thickneck on the front.
With Mr. Thickneck on the front. Because we did Codex and Coffee the other day, I've got this one, which was fun
Necrons.
to read. So I didn't actually buy that at the beginning of 9th edition. Because I was like, I'm probably not going to do this. But anyway, so I bought that one, and then I've also got this one as well. The Tau Empire.
Yeah, can you tell there's been a change in the
So I just want a chaos one that is like these ones.
Chaos Demons. Well, I mean, so my current obviously, again, I've been talking about Tyranid Codex for a long time now in this stream, and I will stop unless people want me to go on. But what I will say is the one reason I want a Codex, because obviously Tyranids are good, they're doing very well. I beat a very good Grey Knights force tonight, piloted by a very good Grey Knights player, Mr. Reza. However, if I want to play my Tyranids, I have to take the following. If I want to do Crusher Stampede, let's put it that way, because that's what everyone, that's what the competitive thing is, and also big bugs are cool, right? This is what I have to bring with me. I'll just go and grab. So,
Mr. Grotkin is saying there best be a Conclave episode about it afterwards. Yeah, I hope there is.
There will be a Conclave episode.
Will there?
There will be, and Josh is going to be on it, and we'll have to start off with Our House by Madness. Right, so if I want to run Tyranids at tournament, this is what I'm going to have to take to ITT now, is, so leaving aside Nachmund, which is obviously not Tyranid specific, so I'll just put that down. I have to bring the library, right? So I have to bring Tyranids, obviously 8th edition Codex, Warzone Octarius for my High Fleet Leviathan, and also more Tyranid strats, which is the other fun thing about this. There are Leviathan strats, and there are Tyranid strats in this. And then I have to bring this White Dwarf to get my Crusher Stampede strat. And Rich, Mr. Reza Prime, will give testament to this tonight, which is that because there are different strats in different places, I completely forgot. There is a transhuman strat that the Nids have, right? Which is obviously really bloody good. There were a few times I didn't actually end up using it, but there were a few times where I was like, I'm probably going to need. I couldn't find the damn thing. I literally spent we were still rolling dice and doing stuff, but every spare moment I had, I was going back going, where the hell is it? Turns out it's in the Crusher Stampede book. I, for some reason, thought it was in Octarius. It's not. It's a Crusher Stampede stratagem. So it was just like, I can't find what I'm looking for.
I can one-up
and it's
there,
changed.
sir.
The strats are really good.
I can one-up
you get it. Oh,
there.
yeah. I was going to say, Chaos Demons has got to be similar. You've got to be similar, right?
So, I don't have to take a magazine that I could take the pages out. No. I have Codex Chaos Demons. I have Warzone Caradon Book of Fire, so I can actually use Bellicor's data sheet. And I still have to bring Psychic Awakening Engine War.
Oh, yeah, you still have to bring Psychic Awakening, yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, I get away with not doing Psychic Awakening because they reprinted the Psychic Awakening strats in this one, in Warzone Octarius. Sorry, put it on my camera. Warzone Octarius Book 1 Rising Tide. So that's got the old Psychic Awakening stuff in it.
Yeah. So I don't think the one that I've got, Book of Fire, does do that, because it did it for Chaos Space Marines, but for the demons it's got a whole Regiment of Renown, i.e., Disciples of Bellicor. So it's got a whole thing in that. It doesn't then have a reprint of any of the stuff in Engine War, which is a bit annoying. But ultimately, I only use, I want to say, 3 stratagems for the Chaos Demons. Warp Surge.
Yeah.
To get a 4+ invuln.
4 up invuln, yep.
Aura of Acquiescence to be -1 attack.
Or your Slanesh stuff, yep.
Around I think it's a 6-inch bubble around Slanesh stuff, so it's quite tasty.
Which offer Keeper of Secrets is pretty big.
Yep. And I haven't used the stratagem yet, but I'm sure I will at ITT. Warp Jaws.
Yep.
Which is +1 to wound for a
Jaws?
unit. Yeah, it's +1 to wound for a unit of Screamers with their Lamprey Bite.
Ooh, that's quite tasty.
I
just think of a big shark coming out of the warp. We're gonna need a bigger tank.
Yeah. No, there's ways to get Screamers of Zunj. I did know this when I played with them at Tabletop Tactics, but he didn't bring any vehicles that I could really do anything to at any point with them. There is a way to get it so that they're wounding a lot of vehicles on 3s, maybe 2s.
Ooh, that's tasty.
If you're getting something.
There you go.
And it's -3, 2 damage each, and it's 3 attacks each. No exploding 6 or a Slanesh strat. No, I don't use it because I'm not using enough dice to warrant it, Mr. Squeezy. So I'll talk you through my list for the weekend, and then I'll do a little bit more basing. I'm taking 30 Demonettes in 3 units of 10. I'm taking Bellicor, and I'm taking a Keeper of Secrets. I'm taking 2 units of Fiends, which are units of 3. I'm taking a Lord of Change. I'm taking a unit of 25 Bloodletters. I'm taking a unit of 20 Pink Horrors. And I'm taking a unit of 9 Screamers. That's my list.
So that's me doing each of your units in,
No, I appreciate it. But if I was running units of 30 Demonettes, absolutely. But if I was running units of 30 Demonettes, I would probably be bringing Selesky. I mean, no, there's no doubt about it. I would be bringing Selesky, and I would also be bringing the Mask as well, because they just do so much for Demonettes, which is it's obscene. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to run mono Slanesh. It's just I don't have the time to paint the amount of Demonettes I wanted to do for it, as well as Celeste.
Paint this one for me.
I could paint that one for you.
Kelly's the other half's gonna paint that. So
yeah, but yeah, I desperately want to get Selesky because Selesky is very good. But as I discovered the other day, you can't take Selesky and Bellicor in the same detachment because Selesky has the Demon Prince keyword. So yeah,
Bellicor is a jealous boy, right?
Yes, he is. So you had to take him in a separate detachment, and to do that, it would have just been silly for me to paint that up.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, in my chat, so a few little things. So Sindri Tepek, hello, good evening. Says hey guys to both of us, and says binder tabs first of all, which absolutely right. Binder tabs are right, and that is how I will. When I go to ITT, before I go, I am going to tab up these books, and I don't have it with me now, but my old 2021 GT pack version of this is fully tabbed up when I went to LGT, sort of which missions I was going to do. And also says, looks like Custodes won Team Battle Brothers GT over Tau. So I don't know where Team Battle Brothers GT was. But again, doesn't surprise me. Custodes Tau final and Custodes coming out on top. I mean, it's a kind of 6-1, half dozen the other. Would be interested to see who went first in that matchup. And as we were saying earlier, at the London Open, the final was between Custodes and Crusher Stampede, and Custodes won that. It looks like with Manny Chima's list, which I think is just a metric ton of bikes. As you know, no disrespect to Manny, but he does like his spam. I'll double check what his list was. I'll double check in a second. And Mr. Daliza says, are you guys going to London GT? Advice on accommodation or what the social is like in the evening? That's an interesting question.
The best thing to do, I can recommend, Mr. Dowleaser, best thing you can do is make really good friends with Adam.
Stay at my house.
And then you can stay at his house, where you will be watched by a small horse as you sleep. Which is
my
very
greyhound.
Fun. To answer your question, Philip,
he does like to loom awkwardly.
To answer your question, I know I held it up with the camera. I've got this ancient pot of modelling gravel from Games Workshop. This is a 12-year-old pot of gravel, right? So they don't sell this anymore. However, you can get this exact stuff. Excuse me. I will find the extra packet that I've got.
Yeah. Mr. Ali says, am I offering? I don't think my other half would be too happy with that. And honestly, I don't have the room. So I'm in a little flat in London. But no, look, in all seriousness, in terms of going to London GT, advice on accommodation. So the GT is held, the LGT is held at the Lee Valley Athletics Centre, which is in sort of East London. It's fairly conveniently located for driving. As I say, I'm in a bit of a convenient position because I live about half an hour's drive away. It's just, I live south of the river, so it's just, straight through the tunnel for me and up. So it's not a problem. But I think if you were staying nearby, maybe somewhere like just if you can get anywhere near the Lee Valley Athletic Centre, that's probably good. The problem is I think you're gonna have to get bus or taxi unless you've got a car, because it is kind of not really near anything else. Yeah, it is it is a little bit in the middle of nowhere. One thing I would say about LGT, and this is no disrespect to the guys who organise it, because they do a good job and they put a lot of effort in. Historically, the food isn't great, and because it's the Lee Valley Athletic Centre, there's just nothing round it. There's like a Costa that's in the Odeon on the other side. You can like walk out and there's like an Odeon cinema, same complex, that you can walk to. But apart from that, so I would say bring some snacks, bring some food. There is a bar. There's you can get water and stuff like that, and just the social in the evening. I mean, again. So on the Saturday, as with any GT, on the Saturday everybody's quite tired. So I don't think people, and again, because it's in the middle of nowhere, it's not like you can just walk to a pub. So I think most people just go back to their sort of hotels or homes. Like me and Josh certainly just came back here, like sat down and had some food because we were so hungry.
I didn't come to the LGT, but yes.
Oh no, yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm talking about. Oh, I'm not thinking about LGT. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about when we were at Goonhammer and we went back to the hotel.
Yes.
I'm just getting completely confused about where we did things. But yes, like, I just came back here and had some food and chilled out. But then on the Sunday, we ended up in the Odeon, in the Costa, with like Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming and Pleasant Kenobi and a bunch of us just sat around chatting and having a coffee for a little bit. So that was the extent of the social, I'm afraid, Mr. Dowleaser. It wasn't particularly it wasn't exactly a rager, but that's as a result of where the LGT is, because it is just in the middle of nowhere. But that is the main, that is the venue that's big enough to hold that many players. And it is a cool event. In terms of whether I'm going to LGT, I am. I have a ticket, or I should have a ticket. I've got one of those early bird ones, I think you did when I went to the last one. God knows why I did that. So yes, I will be there. Josh, are you coming to LGT this year?
Probably not, no.
Oh, come on. I'll persuade you. LGT.
No, there's other
It'll
events.
It'll be right when the demons get their codex.
No, it
It'll
won't.
be really good.
No, it won't. Codex Chaos Demon. I guarantee you, this is what is going to happen. Yeah, I'll buy a ticket for LGT. Codex Chaos Demons will be announced that it's going to be released the Saturday before LGT. So I won't be able to use it. And no, there's other events I'd rather save my pennies for. Things like
no, that's fair enough.
Like Fun and Fluff. That would be one that I would rather go to. So
the Battle Brothers. The Battle Brothers GT Major was in North Carolina, in the United States of America. So yes, I will have a look at
Daytona.
Who came out on top in this one? Yeah, everybody needs a Jackie Daytona in their life. Yes, Adeptus Custodes appear to have won. With, let's have a look. What's the list? Let's find out. So,
he's having
Shield
you
Captain
on.
Dorny will jet bike. Trajan Valoris.
He's having you on, Rez.
What's up?
He's having you on. Mr. Boob is just having you on. Guard did not win the Warhammer World LGT. GT. It was Harlequins won the Warhammer World GT, which is still surprising, but it was not Imperial Guard.
Yes, yeah, he used the guard. The word guard was used very misleadingly, and Mr. Reza is very familiar with the nature of Hive Guard. And yeah, actually, Mr. Boob says in your chat, Josh, best place would be Stratford. Yeah, I agree. Stratford, I was thinking, is probably the best place in terms of, like, it's on a tube line and there's stuff there. So yeah, Stratford's probably a decent place to stay, and then just get a taxi or something, or a bus over to the Lee Valley Athletics Centre.
Is it that end
and yeah,
of
Gorkin
London?
Gaming says, oh god. Yeah. Well, it's East London. It's like, it's not too far from Stratford, I think. I mean, hang on, let me just get my Google Maps going. See, look, who says we don't provide, useful information on the Sunday show? Forget about all this stuff about how to build your list, what colours to paint your stuff, what base and gravel to use. What we do is useful transit directions.
The last LGT I went to
Athletics
was when it was held at the Olympic Park, which was an experience. Yeah, so yeah, it's up near Chingford and Walthamstow. So yeah, your best bet is stay up near stay Stratford or somewhere like that, and just get a overground or a train out there, because the nearest station to it is probably, where the bloody hell is it? I've lost the damn thing. Here we go. The nearest station to it is probably, what's this one? Southbury, which is a London Overground station in Ponders End, which I believe you can get to from Tottenham. So that's probably as best you're going to get to. I mean, I just like, the thing about LGT, right, is, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, right, but I have absolutely no chance of winning it. I mean, neither do I. No, but this is the thing. I am, if I'm going to do competitive Warhammer, I like to think that I'm going to go in with an outsider's chance, which is why, like, ITT, yeah. I think we've got an outsider's chance that we'll do it. I don't think we will, because we haven't got 5 supreme meta lists. We haven't got we've got 4. We've got 4. And then you've got me letting the side down. But with my honestly, you say that, right? And people in chat, let us know what you think, right? How many of you have played Chaos Demons recently? This is where they all go.
How many of you have played,
because I'm terrified of the Warhipster's Chaos Demons.
No, but I'd be interested to know, because honestly, I think there is something to be said for taking a list that people don't know, like an army that people just don't play, that goes against the meta, because they won't know how to tech into it. They'll be teched into Custodes, they'll be teched into Tau, they'll be teched into Crusher Stampede, probably. But you'll turn up with demons and they'll go, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, sure. No, I agree. The only counter I have to that is that if I have to face Tau 5 times this weekend, that is...
Oh, yeah.
That's
Mate, if I have to face Tau 5 times this weekend, I'm done.
that is guaranteed 5 losses for the demons. Because I'll just get SMS spammed to death, or I'll get shot in the face as soon as I appear. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I have played at a reasonably high level, I would like to say, with armies like the Blood Angels. And I was doing really well with the Blood Angels, but when I had to face something like...
GW went...
Well, no, when I had to face something like the tail end of 8th, the Astra Militarum Catachan style thing with the Hammer of Sunderance and 3 tank commanders, it was pretty much a guaranteed loss, because it was just like I'm never going to get to those tank commanders, and they're going to blow me away regardless of what I do.
What I've had games like that. Like I was playing with when I was playing with my sisters all of last year. I played a couple of games where, like, from the get-go, and sisters are a very good army, or were a very good army. Not so great anymore. From the get-go, I knew it was going to be a massive uphill struggle. So I played a game where, like, against really great opponent, just in we did a little like almost like intra-group tournament with the guys from Battlefield Bermondsey, the sort of local gaming club I play at, and we had some of the guys come down from what I guess is sort of like Team Draco, and just played some of them. And Team Gecko, not Team Draco. And the game I had was against, like, it was that, that list that people used to take that's like 5 or 6 Armigers and a bunch of Manticores at the back of the board.
I remember it well.
And the thing is, the sisters, obviously, they have a lot of melter output, but it's all 24 inches, and I'm toughness 3. Like, I've got miracle dice and I've got reasonably good saves in cover. But when you can we also ended up, it was like perfect storm, because we ended up on the long ways deployment on the board. So I was on one short end, he was on the other short end. So to even get to his tanks and stuff, and he had like a couple of tank commanders as well, and to even get to the non-line of sight shooting to try and shut it down was almost impossible. So it was an uphill struggle for me from the start, but it was still a good fun game, and I killed quite a lot of the Armigers actually. The other one I had like that was against Grey Knights at Goonhammer.
Yeah.
So I played the Grey Knight list that had 4 or 5 Dread Knights, and we were on is it Vital Intelligence, the mission where you're in each corner and you move the objectives about. I think that's Vital Intelligence. But with the way the terrain was set up, there was basically one piece of line of sight blocking terrain, and I had to sort of with the way the deployment zone worked, it was the only place to hide 90% of my army. And it still had a lot of exposed firing lines from either side. And all he did, he went first, because he got turn 1, moved, teleported his Dread Knights forward, one of them at least, the other one just moved up, and he just shot the living crap out of all my sisters. And I lost like a good 1,000 points. Oh, it's 700 to 1,000 points in turn 1. And the only other time I've ever had that happen to me was against David Gaylord, who came second at the Open when he ran Mechanicus, and I played him at the summer Winter Warfare with the London Wargaming Guild, and he killed like 1,200 points of my army turn 1.
Yeah.
With Abmech when it was like at the height of its power, and there's just nothing you can do. But what I will say is, London GT, good place to meet people. Met some great people at that tournament, because it brings people in from all over the world.
Are any of them as cool as me?
None of them are as cool as you, obviously, Josh.
And we met on the internet.
We did meet on the internet, yeah.
Actually, that's not true. That's not
dating.
true, is it? Because the first time we met was...
No, we did meet...
when we didn't know who each other were, but we met in a KFC.
Yes, yeah, that is true, actually.
That was the first time we met.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell's this guy? Yeah, and then lockdown happened and we started playing Call of Duties.
We did.
Call of Duties? What the hell's that? That's a different game. Call of Duty, singular. It's not Call of Duties like, light clerical duty and janitorial duty alongside shooting.
Call of Duties.
Call of Duties. Oh, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy says, the issue of living in America, I can't join these events. Where are you in America, Mr. Lemon Squeezy? I'm always interested to meet people from our North American cousins across the Atlantic. Whereabouts are you? Let me know. Oh, man.
I could contemplate going to LGT. It's probably not for me. Not this year. Not gonna have the time, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mr. Squeezy is.
Well, we're going to be at a bunch of. We're going to. The Windy City. Well, I mean, based on the storms we're having here, I think the Windy City is just the UK at the moment. But yeah, Chicago. I have been to Chicago. Beautiful city. I had a great time there. Been 2012, funnily enough. So yes, I will definitely, hopefully be over in the US at some point in the future and actually play some Warhammer. I've done a bit in Canada because that's where I spend most of my time. Not in the UK.
I'll be at Fun and Fluff, Rich. Don't you
Chewy
worry.
says. Oh yeah, Fun and Fluff. Yeah. People come to Fun and Fluff. If you're watching either on my channel or Josh's channel, come to Fun and Fluff in London. That is a great tournament. It is great fun. It's pretty relaxed. It's not like super competitive, and you can bring a funny and fluffy list.
Yep, and then you can fight the person that you're staying with at their house, and then you can do a stupid thing where you both pick silly secondaries.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. There's probably something in the rules that says we're not allowed to do that. But yes, Josh and I played each other. We got drawn against each other, and we played. We decided going in that we were both going to take slightly stupid secondaries and just see what happens. Yeah. And I wasn't running Crusher Stampede. It didn't exist at the time, but I did have my Tyranids. And we ended up in a situation where neither of us could kill the remaining characters on the board because we needed them to do the psychic interrogation secondary against. Yeah. And neither of us could really charge each other onto each other's objectives because we would lose we would kill a unit, take an objective, but then lose the objective we were on, and eventually lose that unit. It's a bit of a stalemate. Yep. And it ended in a draw. It was bizarre. But do come to Fun and Fluff. It's good fun.
I'm hoping to take one of
either
the Tau or the Custodes to the next one. Hopefully the Tau. Because
how are you gonna make it? How are you gonna make it fluffy? Disarm.
How would I make it fluffy, sir? You insult me, sir. Sir.
Sorry, I just said how should I make it? I said how do I make it fun, not fluffy, because it is fluffy if they're armed up to the gills.
I can make it fun. So, like I was saying to you earlier, doing that. So I sent you an abomination list. I don't know if you saw it, where it was 90.
You did, yes. I did read through that and was shocked.
90 fire warriors. Now I know I can't do that because they have a 4+ save, which means I can take a maximum of 40. So I would take 40 fire warriors first and foremost, and then have a unit of pathfinders, obviously, and then I might throw in 20 breaches and see where we're at. And people will be like, "Oh, that's really cool. It's not full of endless battle suits." And I'll be like, "Yep, it is not." But what I would then do is I would take a unit of crisis suits, but I'd only take 3. And with that unit of 3 crisis suits, each one would have completely different weapons.
Yeah, that's cool.
It makes it for the most inconsistent but most lore accurate army unit of crisis suits. And of course,
I like that. That's cool.
This gentleman will be here, and it'll be fun because it's an actual Tau Sept army, as you can see before you on the screen. Yeah. In the original Tau Sept colours. They're
beautiful.
I love it so much.
Yeah, so people on my stream can't see that, but do go to Warhipster on Instagram or Warhipster on YouTube. Wait, the tutorials aren't up yet, are they, for the Fire Warriors and the Crisis Suit?
Not for the Enforcer Commander. I've got Dark Souls. So this week, in fact, this would be a good point to talk about. So this week, for those of you who are excited for things that come to Warhammer or to warhipster.com, youtube.com/warhipster, we're going to be doing a couple of videos this week about the Tau. First one is Dark Strider. That's coming out. And then I've built today, I'll show you on the camera at home up there. There you go, Adam. What do you think that is?
Oh, that's a stealth suit.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that is.
So I've built this today. I'll let you try and guess why I've done a stealth suit with a fusion blaster.
Is there some? I haven't. I see. This is the thing. I need to pay more attention to. I need to pay more attention to the codex. But is there some horrible relic you can put on them?
No, sir. You failed at the first hurdle already, sir. Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sir. I do declare, sir. This is going to be.
Do declare.
I do declare.
Yeah.
This is going to be the a tutorial on how to paint Vashtar stealth suits. Now maybe that'll help you a little bit more. Why might I be doing that?
Where's the colour scheme? Oh, I don't know. Why you put me on the spot like this?
Because I'm an evil person. No, so I'm going to be doing
Vashtar.
Yes.
Oh, hang on a second. Exodite.
Yes.
Exodite, presumably.
Yes. So this is going to be a tutorial
that's
on
the
how
world
to
he's
paint
from. Yeah.
the stealth Shasfrey Lacoma, who is the main character in the Exodite. She is awesome, and we've had a number of pictures of that, so it's going to be literally a tutorial on how to do that. There you go, Shasfrey Lacoma. There you go. That's what we're going to be doing. So that video will be this week, hopefully, if I get it done in time. Otherwise, it's going to be Dark Strider and this guy, but the commander. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what the plan is this week for Tau videos. What I just see an empty base.
Nice.
Thanks, Rich. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going for, an empty base.
That is very cool.
I once tried pulling that by turning up to a thing with, I made these 32 mil bases as a test for when I did my original Tower army, and so they were just there, and I was just like, I'm just going to turn up to a game and I just put these 3 bases there and go, what are those objective markers? I went, no, that's my stealth suit team. And they went, ha ha ha, very funny, do you actually have one? I was like, yes I do, they're in the box, let me just get them. No deep strikes, no shooting, just walking across the table. Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it. Play the game your way. The most narrative game I saw was Jack's Corn Demons walking across the board to Quipster's Custodes. Yeah, that was a very narrative game. It would have been even more narrative if they'd been playing on the steps of the Imperial Palace at the beginning of 8th edition.
Yeah.
When Corn Demons assailed the very heart of the Imperium out of nowhere for some reason.
So I was going to say, I think I should just give a shout out as well to for a similar kind of fluffy bit of play to Old Hammer Morgan. So Morgan, he's on Instagram at Old Hammer Morgan, because I played him round 1 with his Khorne World Eaters force, and he absolutely threw a Demon Prince across the table straight into me, which was not the thing to do at all tactically, and he did it because he was like, I'm Khorne, I just want to charge you, I don't give a crap. And the other thing about Morgan, I would say as well to him, is he, as his name Old Hammer Morgan suggests, he plays pretty much entirely, if not definitely entirely, with old, pretty much pre like 2000, early 2000s Games Workshop model. So it was like an old school Demon Prince. He had like a dreadnought like this big, is tiny, on an appropriate base, which was pretty cool. So it's a very, very cool army to play against. So do go and check him out on Instagram at Old Hammer Morgan, all one word.
It was funny at that Fun and Fluff because you could take 3 Bloodthirsters.
Yes, people on my channel, excuse me, I am just doing some slight adjustments so that you can see what Josh is painting, which I think will be fun. I'm proper messing this up, aren't I? Yeah, I'll just pop that down there. There we go. So With a bit of luck, that should now work.
Just needs a little bit more.
Also plays second edition games from time to time.
Second edition Warhammer 40,000. My God, that's going back.
Yeah, man. He actually invited me to a second ed game as well, which is pretty cool.
And you were like, yeah, sure, I'll definitely be there. And you turned up with your Custodes.
Well, no, it was actually quite interesting because I said to him, I was like, what would I bring? Like, what would I bring along to that? Because I just have no idea of what I can get away with in second edition. I'll just bring Primaris Marines, but they'll just be tactical Marines, I guess.
Yeah. Ah, the good old days.
It's like the only way to do it. Yeah, so people on my channel, you can now see what I'm painting as well. I've fiddled with OBS such that there is now a little window that looks like I'm talking. It actually looks on my channel like I'm talking into your like hand that's painting stuff.
Excellent. I'm here for it.
Oh dear. Sweet. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, any topics you'd like us to talk about, let us know in the chat. But yeah, I need to paint a lot of Tyranids because I need to put my details on all of them now. They need their nice yellow coat, shall we say, which is going to be fun. Got to
They
put
do
that on all of
deserve
them.
it, Adam. You should be doing this for them.
Oh no, I love it. I love them. The scheme, if I do say so myself, I think looks really quite cool. It's just I'm gonna have to do a lot of it this week just to get the army kind of finished, basically.
Richard said, Josh,
And then
you're making
adding
me
lots of
want
plot.
plow more. Can you please stop? I mean, yeah, I can
No.
stop once I've done these.
Yeah, don't stop, And Rich, just get some towel.
He's already got some.
What's
I
the worst that
think.
could happen? I don't know. We were talking today, and he said about trading in, getting rid of his Necrons and swapping them out for some Towboyers.
None of us chase the meta, though, do we?
To be fair, Tau are pretty cool. No, I mean my tower are all in the cupboard up there. I need to go through them actually and work out what I've got. I haven't got any breaches. I think I've mostly got fire warriors. I think I might have a unit of breaches. I have to check it out. But I was watching Pacific Rim the other night whilst I was painting my Tyranid big bugs because that's very thematic. The problem with watching Pacific Rim while you've got a bunch of towers sitting there and you're painting big bugs is like I was doing the big bugs and I was like, oh, I kind of want to paint some battle suits. Oh, this is dangerous. Especially when there's that bit where like Gypsy Danger. This was the first Pacific Rim, obviously. Gypsy Danger has the like plasma cannon built into its like arm.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's a fusion gun. Oh.
Rich says I wouldn't get rid of the Necrons. What do you know, Mr.
Yeah,
Cocktail?
I agree.
What do
I mean,
you know?
Necrons. Yeah. Well, they haven't had an army of renown yet, right? So I strongly suspect there will be an army of renown for Necrons at some point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Zarek's destroyer card. If you take this army of renown, Zarek is free. That's it. That's all it needs. No more additional rules.
You won't be happy until there's one of those for Land Raiders, right? When there's one of those that just says, Josh's Land Raider list. If you take this list, the Land Raiders are free.
Yes.
But do not take up a slot in your army.
Yes. What's your point? What's your problem?
Land Raider meta. I'm gonna get you a T-shirt made that just says Land Raider meta on it.
I was thinking of making one myself and selling it in the tea store.
You should.
I'm all about that hotline.
I agree.
That hotline land meta.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Quick Gaming says they're actually pretty decent at the moment with core buffs. Not top tier, but still decent. I agree. And for a summary of what you can do with Necrons, go and check out, well, the soon-to-be-released Codex and Coffee Part 2 on Necrons, which will be coming out on, was it Friday, you said, Josh?
Not this Friday coming, the Friday after.
Okay, not this Friday coming, the Friday after. And to tide you over until Codex and Coffee and the next installment of Necrons, listen to part 1, and also go and check out the video I did with Rich Burbage on my channel at 5 minute 40k called Playing Necrons After the Data Slate, which basically goes into a little bit of the crunch and how to play them for some ideas on what you can do with those core buffs that Mr. Gwatkin is talking about. Oh, and Mr. Boob says he would buy that t-shirt as well, so maybe you should. Monetization, baby!
I'll think about it. Dave Hall asks, I'm thinking of starting a Stormcast army, including a couple of dragons. Any thoughts on Vigilors versus Judicators from a building and painting perspective as much as on the table? I do have plenty of thoughts about this, yeah. So, Vigilors are very, very good. They're very short-ranged, but they're very, very good. Judicators are like the mainstay of a shooting army for Stormcast. They're very, very cool. They have an unprecedented 24-inch range, which is trumped only by, you know, the 30-inch range Vanguard Raptors, which are just ridiculous. They make their way into every competitive list. The Vigilors are very good because
Vigilors are bows, right?
Vigilors have bows and swords. I've got some Vigilors here, actually. Here's a Vigilor. They're very cool. Very, very cool models. Really like them. Big fan. Vigilors are very, very cool because they have an ability where if they cause a wound to an enemy unit, the rest of your army gets +1 to hit until your next command phase, I think. Or maybe it's in that.
That's pretty cool.
Or for the rest of that turn. It's something like that. It's very, very, very good. In fact, I've got the Stormcast book here. I'll check it in a second. Now, the best way to get some... get the utility out of Vigilors on the tabletop is to take a Knight Judicator as your warlord, because then you can use the Vigilors as battle line. Judicators can be used as battle line without having to do that. So there's that involved, which is very, very, very useful. Now, from a painting perspective, the Vigilors are amazing. The Judicators are the old Stormcast. So there's that. The Vigilors are a much nicer, cooler, more flowing dynamic kit than the old Judicators. The Judicators are just bowmen, which they look really cool when you rank them up. Now, the best thing about Judicators is if you make a line of Judicators and then put a line of guys in front of them with hammers and shields, and then in front of them put a line of protectors with the two glaive, with the big two-handed glaive. That is how Stormcast line up for battle, and it looks absolutely incredible. That being said, the Vigilors are a really, really, really nice kit. So I think if you're going to use Vigilors on the tabletop, and you want to use lots of them, you want to get a Knight Judicator, so you don't have to have like Vindictors or something. It means you've got more space for dragons and things. They are pricey. They're 195 points for 5 Vigilors, but it is worth it from a gameplay perspective. Just because if you were to take a unit of 10 of them, for example, and you shot one at each, one at every single unit. Now, bearing in mind it's only I think it's 18-inch range, which isn't very, very far. But if you shot one at each enemy unit and you did a wound, you would get +1 to hit against the enemy army, which is very, very good. But yeah, honestly, there's definitely space for both. But I would also look into maybe getting Vigilors as something to have, and a Knight Judicator, so that you get them as battle line. But also look into getting something like the Vanguard Raptors with the long strike crossbows, because, oh boy, the Vanguard Raptors with long strike crossbows are just a bit good. They are just a bit good.
Well, there you go. Stop tempting me into AOS. Stop it. Stop it.
I do have an army for
As
sale.
Kelly said last week, the correct answer on which iOS army to get.
I have an army for sale that would get you into Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
You know what? Well, you know what? While we are on this particular here stream, we should just say, are you looking for a new army to get yourself into Age of Sigmar and tabletop fantasy wargaming? Then check out Warhipster. He's got an army for sale. It's Josh. Stormcast, right?
It's 4,949 points worth of Ambles of the Hell and Hammer Stormcast.
It's 4,949 points. Animals of the Heldenhammer Stormcast. So get into it now for the very, very nice offering price, please.
Message me for details.
Message him for details or nearest offer. Check it out. It even comes with free painting tutorials available on youtube.com/warhipster. Terms and conditions apply. Stormcast Army may not be as seen. There you go.
I have plans for AOS. Not good plans, but plans. Awesome, Richard. I'm very glad. I love
Richard there, coming in the chat, being ominous.
I have plenty of plans for Age of Sigmar. I need to get 9 Annihilators, and then I need to paint my remaining 4 Dragons, and I would have finished my Hammers of Sigmar. I've then got to get a number of different kits for Celestial Vindicators, because I've got to finish them off as well. I've got a box set of Vanquishers. Now, Celestial Vindicators are really cool because one of their things as a Storm host is that they have a tendency to want to use swords rather than hammers. So the Vanquishers are excellent for that because they're the guys with the two-handed swords. There aren't many swords in a Stormcast army, but they are absolutely there, so they're definitely going in. So I've got them. There's a couple of other things I need to get to finish off the Celestial Vindicators to take them up to 3,000 points. And then I've got a number of things. I've got an entire Sacrosanct chamber just sat in the cupboard waiting for something to do with it. And that's all going to be painted up and added to my Hallowed Knights. So that'll take me up to around about 3,000 points of Hallowed Knights. And then the last one I will do, and this is like 5 years from now, is to probably revisit the Vanguard chamber, but to do them all as Astral Templars. So that way I've got all of my favourites in.
You're gonna have all of the Stormcast, aren't you? Just all of them.
Well, I have them all now. That's the thing, but I do need to sell these Andals.
Yeah, you've got one of each, right?
Well, Josh has heard my Stormcast plans. Basically, a hobby project, but will likely be terrible on the table. Stormcast have got some tricks at the moment.
So what you're. Yeah, so what you're saying, Josh, is Rich, is it's like when you said I have good plans, I thought you meant like as in evil schemes. What you actually mean is, it probably might not be very good, but it will be fun, which is good. Do your hobby your way. Respect that. Love it. I will actually ask you more a question for you, Josh, that Mr. Dowleza has asked on my channel, which is, has anyone seen an alternative Black Templar scheme? I know that sounds odd. I don't think it sounds odd at all. I think that's a perfectly reasonable request. Good thing to think about doing Black Templars differently. So if you were going to do Black Templars differently, Josh, how would you do them? Seeing as you are the painting expert here.
How would I do them?
You could reverse them, right? Like you could almost do white as the predominant, because they have white shoulder pads and sort of black armor, right?
Yeah.
So you could surely flip that around and have like sort of white armor, and which obviously is going to be a bit of a pain to paint, and then black shoulder pads, maybe.
Yeah, no, that would work. That would look cool as well. The only thing you would slightly struggle with is the unit marking. So you'd want to make sure you've got the upgrade kit, so that you got the sculpted shoulder pads, because all the transfers are obviously black.
Yes, yeah. Chewy Zero says you make them orange, which is exactly what he did, which looks very, very cool. I will say. I must say, I'm looking forward to the next episode of the Hipsters and seeing what everyone's done and seeing what you've done in particular, Mr. Zero. I was going to say the other thing you could do, so you still keep the Black Templar scheme, would be maybe do it all metallic. So could you have like a very dark metal on the armor?
Yeah, you could do something like that.
It's almost black, like sort of. I'm thinking like how Iron Warriors gives you that really dark metal. Or even, Warplock Bronze is a very dark bronze as well, that I played around with on my Eldar. So maybe something like that. Yeah. And then you could still have a sort of. You could even give that like a thin. If you give that a thin down or a thin wash of Black Templar maybe over the top. You'd still get the dark metal, but then it wouldn't be the traditional kind of matte black of the Templars, and then you could still keep the white and red, and it'd be kind of an alternate scheme.
Yeah.
The other thing I like to do with stuff like that is just stick grime on it and stick gunk on it. You know, make them look worn, make them look like they've been in battle. But no, I mean, Mr. Watkins got a good suggestion as well. Look into other historical schemes from real life Crusades, perhaps. I think that's an interesting way of doing it. I would say, not to get all politically correct or otherwise, because it is hobby and we don't want any politics into it. One thing I would say about echoing stuff that's like real life, especially Crusades schemes, is people can sometimes get a bit sensitive about stuff like that, right? So, but yeah, I think to build on Boob's point about like the Knights of Ibelin from Kingdom of Heaven, which is a good film, yeah, something like that I'm sure would be, you know, no one's going to have a go at you for that. But yeah, it's worth thinking about how to do that as well. That'd be a good way to do it.
I really enjoyed the video that oh God, what's his name? History Buffs. Have you seen the History Buffs video about Kingdom of Heaven?
Oh yeah. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. I felt
I'm a big fan of History Buffs generally as a channel.
Philip. No, well, you know, like we often talk on here about like pressure to hobby. Remember that there is no pressure to hobby. It is entirely when you get the chance. You know, if it gives you joy, it gives you joy. Sometimes it might not. I'd say, you know, as long as you have the intention to do it, that's all you need. Whether or not it happens is you know, doesn't matter. But like, you know, I often as well kind of say, if you want to feel like you're achieving something in the hobby, addressing something like just looking up AN thing on Lexicanum or you know, any of those kind of websites, or like kind of just googling who is Ferrus Manus, that kind of thing. Just reading something like a 5-minute read about a thing, that counts. And I would absolutely put that in there as, you know, this was my progress this week, as I studied. I did my homework.
Honestly, you know what? And my other half, Kelly, says this to me all the time. This is a really important thing to remember when you're doing Warhammer, because it can be. And actually, funny enough, Reza and I were talking about this tonight after our game. It can be very all-consuming, but do remember, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Right? This is supposed to be something you enjoy. Something, you know. I mean, again, hobby your way, do what you want, but it should be something, hopefully, that relaxes you. Something you enjoy doing. Something you look forward to doing. If you're sitting there and thinking, oh God, I have to paint these things, right? Obviously, if they're on the list for a tournament, there's not much you can do about that. It's the way it goes. But just switch it up. Just read, you know, like Josh says, if you don't feel guilty about it, because I do that a lot. Like, and you know what, Mr. Daliza in my chat has been just said about, you know, lawyer life, no time for, right? Because I'm a lawyer, it's my job, and it is a very busy schedule. I don't have time really during the week, like, to do things after work. And actually, this is a point that Rich and I were talking about today. And I'll include it in hobby, but it's playing games. We played a game this afternoon, and I just don't get time really to go on a weekday, right? I've had to leave. The Bad Moon Cafe, the really good gaming place near me in London, does a league that's excellent. And if you've got time, I encourage you to join it. That just, you know, gives you a chance to get lots of games in, try different factions, do different things. I've had to drop out of the league because I don't get time. You know, people in there can play games from like 2 to 6 every day because, you know, that's how, or, you know, every other day, because that's how their jobs work. That's where their jobs work. I don't get time. So I've had to kind of take a step back and go, you know what, I'll do my tournaments, I'll do my stream with Josh, I'll record my podcast when I can, try and make some YouTube videos when I can. But really, I just want to paint stuff and have fun with it, and I need to stop putting pressure on myself. You know, like if I'm sitting here going, oh, I need to make content, oh, I need to paint something, like Kelly's like, this is supposed to be fun. Yeah. You know, you don't sound like you're having fun, and she's right. I mean, even like now, you know, I'm painting these Tyranids, and I love painting them. But there was a period like where I'd be painting lots of models, and I'd just be like, I'm sick of this. So I'd switch it up and try something else. You know, just build some stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I've got some Tau stuff I've got Darkstrider stuff to build. I'm
in the middle of experimenting with something actually. So like the Custodes, the entire of that army is built apart from the Forge World stuff. which I need to do. But as I mentioned the other day, I'm still waiting for some basing bits to arrive before I can do it. So I'm going to have the entire of the Custodes army built. The thing I'm going to do with the Tau is I'm not going to build stuff until I've finished stuff that I've already done. That way it doesn't feel like it's piling up and then it's done and then it's too much.
I think that's a very good idea.
Or like I'm not getting through my own stuff quick enough. It's one of the things that I struggle with that anyway because I have a lot of commissions and stuff on, as you can see with these 10 Dire Avengers that I spent the first part of this stream doing the bases of. And actually there's one thing I forgot to do on them, which I should probably do in just a moment. But all that's left for me to do from this iteration of Tau is 5 more Fire Warriors and an Ethereal. I do have the full 2,000 points, nearly. I've still got 2 boxes to buy, and 3 of them are on their way. But when all that stuff's right, I'm not going to build all of it and have it all sat in front of me. I'm going to just finish the Fire Warriors, finish the Ethereal, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to build the next unit of the next unit of Fire Warriors. Mikey's Wargaming is here. Hello, Mikey's Wargaming. And Kataro is here. He says, sup.
Hey, Mikey. Hey, Kataro. Yeah, hey, Kataro.
Mr. Gwatkin says, you mean the George Stodes. Of course I mean the George Stodes. The George Naught, both of them. Tolric's is Palace Attack.
King George III.
These are easy peasy lemon Tau. That's what we might... I'm going to have to do something like this.
Shazray Letmon.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, this is what I'm trying out, because I've been very guilty of building an entire army and then painting it in a rush, as you know from my doing the what they're called. What am I thinking of? Demons.
Chaos Demons. Yeah.
Like that was all supposed to be a 12-month project, and then you bullied me into taking them to Goonhammer, so I painted them all in.
Well, excuse me. I just said you need a list for Goonhammer, and you went, I want to run Chaos Demons. I went, all right then, you better paint them.
That's not what happened.
And fun was had. Great fun was had. Great fun was had. No, I just think honestly, for your own mental health, like, don't pile pressure on yourself. Go, if you want to listen to an audiobook, you want to read, just read through a codex or something like that. That's hobby. That's hobby progress. Don't ever restrict yourself to like, oh, I must have painted this or I must have done that by this time, because it gives you. I think that's what gives you burnout in the hobby.
Yeah.
More than anything else. And then you start to resent it, and the minute you resent it, it's not fun, But do your hobby your way and enjoy it, and just try and have fun with it and switch it up, do different things, and go to youtube.com/warhipster and watch video tutorials on how to paint things beautifully. These Dire Avengers, or your own hand, in the case of Mr. Josh, as everyone can see on camera right now.
Listen, my hand is a Jackson Pollock waiting to be
of contrast
put in every museum around the world.
I like it. What colour are you using there on the little bobble on the gun there, Josh, if you don't mind me asking?
So this is Vallejo Chrome, just because it was there in front of me. Normally I would use Stormhost
the
Silver.
super shiny one, nice.
But I forgot to do this, so I'm just adding, because it's there in front of me. I thought, oh yeah, I haven't actually tried that paint out yet. So, because these are all meant to be gems, which I didn't realise until the lovely.
Oh, well, so I tried to be sensible with that, and I did all the little bubbles as metallic anyway, as part of my scheme. So unless it's got like a proper rim on it, it's not a gem, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like the website for the Dire Avengers has two different. So gamesworkshop.com has two different ways of doing it on there. on some of them it's black, and some of them they are gems. And the person in question has asked that they be gems, so I'm just quickly adding this Vallejo chrome over. It's a nice paint. I haven't used it before.
Yeah, it looks good. It's come out well.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it is now headed for 2,200 hours. It is now headed for 10, so we have been streaming for an hour and a half. So I do wonder whether we should ask for finalement question, s'il vous plaît. That was terrible French. But yes, any final questions, thoughts, feelings in the chat, do let us know, because I think we will be signing off fairly shortly, because it is, sadly, the last day of the weekend. We have got to go. It's a work night. I have got to go to work tomorrow.
We do need to be well rested this week as well.
We need to be well rested. There's a question from Mikey's Wargaming. Is anyone Azurani stuff next weekend? This guy is ordering Azurani stuff next week because I'm not chasing them. Because I will chase them.
Because he's chasing the meta.
Yeah, because I'm chasing the meta, clearly. No, I have all my old Eldar that I'm gonna add to. This is my Farseer. This is my old school Autarch in that kind of autumn colour scheme. People can see. I like my Eldar. They're pretty cool. We'll be adding the new stuff to the army. And Twisty reminds me of Toast saying, "Yes, Clem Fandango, I can hear you." So thank you very much. Thanks for that. I do love Matt Berry. I do love Toast. I saw Matt Berry actually. Jesus Christ Superstar at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. Obviously now a couple of years ago, because this was all sort of pre-COVID. And Mr. Berry was actually in the audience and sat like 3 seats over from me. And at the end of the thing, I did do the fanboy thing and got to him and go, I absolutely love Toast. I absolutely love the IT crowd. And I'm just generally a massive fan. And he was like, I was like, but I don't want to get weird about it, so just wanted to tell you you're awesome. And he was like, oh, cheers, man. He was a really nice guy.
Did he shout, "Yes, I can hear you,
yes.
Adam Robin"?
Yeah, he did. He's like, I'm here to watch a play. Why don't you fuck off?
Jackie Daytona.
Yeah. You're my sweet baby, and I'm not here for that kind of jive. Yeah. I don't know. That was. I did meet him once, I'll say. He was pretty cool. So yes, I'm a big Matt Berry fan. So thank you for that, Biltong Boob. I can just do the whole thing in a sort of faux Matt Berry if you would like. I'm here to talk about Tyranid. Big ugly bugs from beyond the galaxy. They're going to eat you and turn you into soup.
I'm looking forward. I enjoyed his turn in the Book of Tatooine and the Mandalorian.
Oh, as the bot, as the robot.
Yeah. He got first billing on so many of the
Yes.
episodes. It was very funny.
I know, right? I love it. I'm waiting to see the edit. Edit him into other Star Wars things, doing his like bits from IT crowd. You know when Django gets killed, you should just edit him into the background going fire.
Absolutely. Was he in Book of Boba? Yes, he was. He was the robot that kept telling. He was the exposition robot. That's who he was. Every time he did a.
The mayor has run away.
Yeah, it was exposition bot. That's an amazing impression.
That
Reminds me of Smooth
Fix
Tony
my
from the
pants.
Fast Show as well. There's Mike's painted minis.
Oh, Swiss Tony, yeah. But buying a car is a lot like making love to a beautiful woman. I am a big fan of the old school Fast Show. I was brought up on all that stuff in the 90s. Scorchio and all that. Clithwaddle. This week I have mostly been painting Tyranids. Sorry, I'll just stop doing voices now. I sound like an idiot. And this is on the internet, so everyone can hear me.
Well, it's time to end, as you said.
What else we got? Yeah, it is. It is. So yes, Biltong Boom, I have heard you. And yes, it is time to end. So, thank you so much for joining us on the Lord on the. I was about to say on the Lord of Change because Wings Up has said just big thank you to the Lord of Change tutorial to you, Mr. Warhipster. So, there you go. Tutorials are a great help. They are a great help. And if you're not watching this on youtube.com/Warhipster. Go and watch it on youtube.com. Well, don't go and watch it. Please watch it on my channel. Please, this is very sick. Need subs. No, but do go and check out all of the painting channel for making your models beautiful because they're just very good.
Mikey's Wargaming. Yes, this is a weekly thing now. We do this every Sunday. Sometimes I might not be around and Adam will stream, and sometimes Adam won't be around and I'll stream. But yeah, there will pretty much always be a Sunday show going forwards.
Yes, we will try and do a Sunday show.
There might not be one this weekend because we'll all be travelling home from a weekend of war, or we'll
do it in the car.
Alternatively,
I'll be driving, so I'll just be a voice in the front.
Or there's the outside chance as well that we might be playing in the final of the ITT. I don't expect that, but there is an outside chance that could happen. I don't know.
If it happens, it happens, and I'll be very happy. But
I'll live stream it from my phone. I'll just get my game. We'll get to the final. I'll lose my game as quick as I possibly can. I'll just be like, guys, I'll just play the Tau guy, and then I can live stream the rest of you on Sunday as how we're doing. No, because then we'll lose, Josh. No, you've then got 100 someone else. That's what you've got to do. I put the challenge to you, Ed, to 100 nothing someone else, and I'll take the 0-100 list. Anyway, on that note, it is time for us to end. As Adam says, you can, if you're enjoying. If you're enjoying these streams, we are going to be doing this weekly. I have been the Warhipster. He has been ADR Wargaming, otherwise known as 5 Minute 40k. Do go and subscribe and follow us both on Instagram if you wish. Leave a like on the stream if you want a really good way to support us. And, well, that's it. That's all there is to say. So we'll see you next time. I'll see you all next time on Wednesday at least. And, yeah. Happy wargaming, everybody. Bye.
Happy hobbying. Bye.